And I don't care what they used to do in dubstep. I don't want to go down that road. Let's just move on. Enjoy the moment that happened with the rock and roll dance music, and just accept it for as it was. Could have been even better if we maintained some of the levels there, but that's okay. Each to their own. Each to their own. First thing first. Um, I would not recommend you touching the master volume at all, particularly if you are performing in front of a live audience. It's different when you're performing um, on camera and you're streaming. It's a different scenario because the master tempo allows me to adjust the main volume and how hot it is. And if I notice that it's too hot, I can slightly adjust, but then post, I can balance things out if need be. But in general, when you're performing live, you want to leave that for an audience, you want to leave that for the front of house to adjust for you. Um, so please don't look at this and be like, okay, I gotta do that. Is only for when you're streaming live. If you look at this and you're streaming live, then definitely take into consideration because you are your front of house engineer. If you're not sure what that means, it means that when you are performing in a live setting, say in a stage, there are engineers, sound engineers in front, usually in the middle of where the crowd is, perhaps a little, obviously further back, but usually in the center from where you're playing, and they are able to control the volumes coming through the speakers for what the audience hears. And you should trust them and allow them to maintain the correct levels for you. And if you notice it's getting too quiet or too hot, they can adjust it for you. Again, being from a perspective when you are the DJ or the performer from the electronic space, you want to keep your levels clean. I notice too much when music's being pumped in that it's just pinging on the red. There's there is a reason that it has a marker for 0 and above 0 and below that. When your music is pinning above 0 and it's going in the red, and then you're maxing out the volume and you're wondering why it's not any louder, that's not good. In general, you want to keep your balances, your volumes at where the meter is putting at neutral. So 0, you can go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but generally you want to keep them around there. You don't want to be pinning everything above that. You can have volume coming from the master volume, and you can have volume coming out from front of house. There's enough volume going around, enough voltage to make it as loud as it needs to be. Distorting it isn't going to help. In fact, they'll just make it less loud because the audience won't feel any of the low end. Because the more you distort something, the more you compress something, the less low end you're going to have, and you don't want that. So if you want your audience to dance, you want your audience to have a good time, you keep your levels clear, and you want to allow the natural volume of the music to come out. 'Cause that's what allows people to dance. It isn't pinning something to its absolute, brim, and forcing something to happen there. It's not going to work. And I don't care what they used to do in dubstep. I don't want to go down that road. Let's just move on. Enjoy the moment that happened with the rock and roll dance music, and just accept it for as it was. Could have been even better if we maintained some of the levels there, but that's okay. Each to their own. Each to their own. So that's the main reason why I'm adjusting the master tempo, because I want to make sure it's the best possible audio recording outputting, and I don't want it to be clipping or being extra hot for no reason, unless it's my artistic choice. Usually when I am doing the cyberpunk mixes, I am hitting it a little bit harder just to create a bit more of that crunch. When I am doing some of the rave till I die stuff, I do change it up. I might start a little bit hotter, then I'll tone it down a little bit to allow some softer things, and then I'll bring it up. Generally for cyberpunk, around midway, I'll turn it down a little bit to allow more of these synthwave vibes to come through, allow more of the warmth to come through, and then I'll crank it up to really hit it a little bit harder. But you're not talking about like, 10 dB, you're talking about a little bit adjustment, just to hit it a little bit harder, just to hit it at the recording equipment just a little bit, so it gives it a little bit more of an aggressive feel to it, a bit more of a vibe to it. I would just like to say though, if you one more thing about volume, whenever you see the decks, and I've seen movies as well, and then the things like pinning to the brim, that's not a good sign. Okay, that means they have no idea what they're doing. Okay, that's the main thing you want to take from that, which is shocking for some of the things I've seen in movies from very prominent faces in the world of electronic music. So you just do your research and think for yourself when you are when you leave the best volume. And there's plenty of material out there for you to make the correct decision. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and look at the best volumes you want to have when you are recording, when you are playing music, and then do what you feel is the best for you.